Good afternoon, I'm Ghost Williams, and welcome to Black Father.
Black Father, the miniseries, streaming every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Facebook Live. This miniseries is an attempt to bring more respect, more truth, more love and accountability into the home of the Black family and community. Black Father will help with a multitude of issues. Black Father, streaming every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Facebook Live. Black Father, the miniseries.
We here on Black Father episode 4, The Tyranny of the Unseen. We are running this for the young fathers, the Black fathers, any father that needs a little help with something that can be a very daunting task in parenting and raising this generation's youth. So for those of you who are not familiar, the Prince of the Air is in everything that has to do with television, radio, social media, the internet. Anything associated with something that travels over the airwaves
The non-tangible
can be manipulated.
Yes.
Is that why it's called the unseen?
The unseen.
The
Tyranny of the unseen. So we felt it was important to attack this topic for the young fathers and let them know that there's a lot of times when something can happen and it doesn't seem exactly right, and we blame it on technology, but actually it can be the Prince of the Air. Someone say they called and you didn't get that call.
It can be intercepted.
All kind of things can happen, and all of us has had this happen and blamed it on just the network or this or that. Long story short, to give you a background on how the Prince of the Air operates, it's normally through the modes of deception: fear, lies, confusion, pride and arrogance, embarrassment, guilt and despair, which can lead to isolation, can lead to suicide, can lead to ridiculous stuff. Anger and hatred, greed and overindulgence, impatience, rushing all the time. A lot of us have made mistakes rushing. Doubt, jealousy and envy, and even sickness can be influenced by the Prince of the Air. Now remember, you're in the hospital, all these electronics going on. I just want you to keep these things in mind.
Right.
Long story short, dealing with the Prince of the Air is honestly one of the reasons that it took us, myself definitely, so long to even come across this type of media.
I'm right there with you.
Because we have been running classes, if you will, for actually decades, in which I don't allow electronics in, and that's just because I'm aware of the influence of the Prince of the Air.
The trickery.
Yes. So coming along with this, you guys give me a couple solutions on what you think can help with the Prince of the Air. Now you started a couple weeks ago when you said he came with carrying that tool, that thing.
Right.
His spirit came along with
yes, it do.
It definitely
it's
does.
attached to it automatically.
Yes, sir. But we looking for solutions. So that's where I want you to.
Well, the solution really comes from actually being able to take information from different areas. That's good information, far as being able to sort through what comes through your gate.
Sift through the nonsense.
That's right.
I like
So ultimately, we have to protect our eye gate, our ear gate. Certain things we have to really monitor and have filters for what we allow in. There are certain channels, podcasts, music, Pandora. So when you go to a certain channel, you pretty much know the temperament of a Fulio channel versus an Elton John channel. You know what I'm saying? So protecting that stuff and knowing the vibration of the Prince of the Air, knowing that he moves off of emotion.
Yes.
He moves off of
triggers.
Oh my goodness. So triggers. Yeah. So I think just knowing that is a real thing, and by being something that you just can't put your hands on and just point it out and be like, oh, there it is.
Right.
You really have to just be knowledgeable, because every time we pick our phone up, that algorithm, every time we pick the phone up, the algorithm tends to give us what we're interested in.
So I'm gonna reel you back in. Your solution was filter and monitor what you're doing over the airwaves.
Your gates. Yes.
That's an excellent solution right there.
Yes.
Counselor Damon, what did you have, my brother?
Look, man, I completely touche what you just said.
Mhm.
I'm on board with that. My solutions are just be real about who you are and open to collective criticism.
Mm.
Understand that a cheerful giver is not given to you out of pity, but out of love.
Mhm.
Right.
We gotta understand that, the Prince of the Air is attacking us in so many different directions, and it's throwing our thought process away from the real direction
You need to go.
that God has placed us in.
Yes.
So what happens a lot of times is when you're on that direction, you tend to drift off. And, I'm gonna hit you with something.
Come on.
I learned how to look at the Wizard of Oz a little differently.
Which one?
The original.
Okay.
Actually both of them.
Okay.
Because the same one thing happened. She was supposed to stay on the yellow brick road, the
Yes.
path.
Yep.
All she had to do was stay there. Once they found those flowers
Yep.
and they allowed themselves to be distracted from the direction that they were supposed to be going in,
Yes.
the enemy attacked.
Enemy attack.
Simple as that.
It was the apples they was distracted by as well.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
It was so many different things. And you gotta be careful of the distractions.
Yes.
So be careful how you allow the outside distractions to corrupt your inside world.
That's right.
Because it will definitely throw you off track. And the worst part about it is the journey back to where you're supposed to be.
It's much longer.
Takes so much longer to get there. It takes so much longer to get back on track. And then when you do get back on track, it's, okay, I need a minute now.
So, solution being stay focused, stay on the path, stay on track, and don't get distracted. So you got doing your filters, don't let anything monitor what's coming through. He's got staying focused on the prize, stay focused on what it is you are trying to get across. Whether that's a statement, whether that's a solution, whether that's an idea. He's saying stay focused, don't let the Prince of the Air distract you, which is one of his prime purposes.
And learn how to not allow words to sway you. Collective criticism is, look, a lot of people look at criticism as, oh, he looking down on me. Or they don't want to see me shine.
Right.
It's not always they don't want to see you shine. Sometimes it's just a word that you might need to hear to help you shine.
Right.
So what I hear him saying is don't have such thin skin when you're
that
dealing
part.
online, when you're on
That
social
part.
media, when you're in the crowd or around people filming is going on. Have some thick skin because this generation is very sensitive, I'm gonna call it.
Triggerish.
I'm not gonna say to be.
I like that. I like that. Triggerish.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I kind of had jotted down a couple things. I feel like combating the Prince of the Air in its most basic form is to only post life. You on social media, you on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're doing, only post life. Like when you in real life and you walking around, you only speak life. The power of life or death is in the tongue, correct, gentlemen?
Yes.
So speak life, post life, try to keep everything you post positive, because if a wise man and a fool are arguing, who can tell the difference? Like no one, they both look the same.
Both look the same.
So, Black Father, what you need to do is remove yourself from all negativity online. Period. Somebody says something out the way to you, you just take it with a grain of salt. And actually, if it doesn't have much truth in it, it really shouldn't ruffle your feathers too much anyway, because that's just what he was speaking about, a distraction. And what he was speaking about, just filter what comes in. If it doesn't deserve energy, don't give it to it.
That's right. Don't give it.
And that leads me to something that comes in that's a tactic that both of these gentlemen already know that we teach. In life, everything that lives has to eat. A person, a dog, an idea, hatred, love.
Yeah.
Only feed what you want to live in your life. I promise you, you start feeding something, it's gonna die off. Now it might take a week, might take a month. Some stuff might even take a year, but if you don't feed into something with your energy, your communication, your finances, your thoughts, your actions, I promise you it will die off. And then as you're feeding the things that you want to live, all the positive things, it'll get better. So this is one of the areas you can combat the prince of the air with this small piece of knowledge we're offering here, these 3 or 4 or 5 solutions. This is going to lead us to our first break and intermission here on Black Father, episode 4, and we will return in a minute or so.
Black Father, the mini-series, streaming every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Facebook Live. This mini-series is an attempt to bring more respect, more truth, more love and accountability into the home of the Black family and community. Black Father will help with a multitude of issues. Black Father, streaming every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Facebook Live. Black Father, the mini-series.
Episode 4, Tyranny of the Unseen. So we are discussing the tactics of the Prince of the Air. The second subtopic we have here is dealing a little bit more with right now, systemic racism in this country and around the world. A planned tyranny of the unseen that plots to keep the mind of the Black father, mother, and child enslaved, enchained, in bondage.
To continue with the lynch.
Yes, and this is something that in the day and time we've come into, this show is really touching upon and give a little relief to, a couple solutions to. So when we're talking about systemic racism, what do you think are some of the things we're leaving out that are important to the young fathers out here? Having to deal with stuff coming up.
And you go first.
Counselor Davis right here.
Yeah, because I know.
I have I have a sour spot.
Right. Okay.
The entertainment industry is huge for this.
Right. Entertainment industry.
The way the entertainment industry is placing our people in a negative process.
That's a loop.
Just bottom line, that's what it is. That's who they are. So this is what you need to see. And now the worst part about it is, not only is it being seen on TV like this and in the entertainment industry like this, it's also being absorbed by our young people. So this is what we need to do. This is how I need to walk. This is how I need to dress. We tell our kids, pull your clothes up, but every rapper they see got their clothes hanging down. We tell our kids, don't talk a certain way. You know, you need to talk, have stronger English. Speak proper as possible.
Right.
Hey, I'm from the hood. I say no and
all the
ebonics you can come up with.
Okay.
But I know how to handle myself in a professional capacity.
Right.
I can go in any meeting with any professional, congressman, senator, mayor, I don't care who it is, and hold a legitimate intellectual conversation.
Right.
Yes.
Put yourself in a position to be able to do so. When you know how to talk, when you know how to carry yourself, when you know how people are looking at you can affect the outcome of who you are, everything changes.
I agree. And one of the things you're touching upon is really important. And that is the fact that there's a certain ambiance that goes along with every type of music. Now I'm gonna give y'all some examples. Now you know I'm kind of the entertainment guru a little bit, like both of you. You being an artist, you being a producer and a promoter.
Right.
We know how things have gone. Country music has progressed over time.
Yeah.
Classical music has improved or progressed over time. Pop music has gotten wider, deeper. Artists from all over the world has progressed in that format, in their concepts.
Yeah.
Our music that's considered rap or hip hop has been in the same place. I can turn on a rap video from 20 years ago with big rims, big chains, dudes carrying guns, and women half dressed. I can turn on a video yesterday and see this same concept in our music. Why is it that our music is the only one that's held back? It's the tyranny of the unseen.
Oh, they think twerking just started. They think twerking just started. They must, back in my time.
The Ross to do it was Luke before their time, so
Yeah,
it was a whole nother.
I go even
He say
further.
Luke
I
on the show.
Wait.
don't even go to Patrick.
Wow.
I don't even go to Patrick.
Right.
Patrick was doing it, early 90s.
Yes.
The point is,
Right.
our music hasn't progressed in that way.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, what do you think about this whole systemic racism and its attack on our families?
I opened up the door for you now.
I mean,
Woo.
it's I just really think that, for instance, just like this show, I just believe that we kind of really we need to control more of what we see.
More of our own content.
That's
you're
right.
saying.
We just need more of our. I take my hat off to Dame Dash. He's
Yes.
following him.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
he has his own network. Give a lot of people a chance, but you know that whole hub of where he keeps his archive of work.
Yes.
It's right. It's a controlled environment.
Shout out to Dame Dash, setting the right example.
Yeah, so-
controlling your content.
Yes, controlling.
keeping it safe. No one's leaking it out.
Right. As well as I believe just so me the guns and the shooting and the violence, I listen to it. I'm guilty. I do listen to it.
I do too.
Yeah.
We gotta stay up.
Because it's oversaturated. Like you don't really
It's
have.
everywhere. You
You
don't
either
have
gonna
much
go
space.
back to the old stuff, or you just gonna have some shooting in your songs right now.
Yeah.
But mainly, I think that when I shoot videos,
Mhm.
I don't shoot no videos with guns in them. Like I just don't want them in
Heard
the
that.
video. I'm not shooting them. I don't shoot a lot of videos. I don't really do. But if you got guns and stuff in your videos, I won't shoot the video. You know what I'm saying? Like I do
like
my
that
part for
stance.
that.
Exactly.
You know,
I like that stance.
I don't have any
There's a
videos
solution, right?
with no guns in them. I just don't. I won't shoot that video. So it's but mainly I believe it's just we have to create spaces where we really control the environment. I mean we're up against a lot of the stuff, but
Right.
for what we can do, far as cutting back on what we can, put our hands on because it's a lot.
It's gotten to a place where
It's
not
a
only
lot.
is it in television, from old school, but now there's. When was the last time you seen a positive black television show?
Well, when was the last time you seen black men displayed in a positive light? Prince of the Air.
That part.
Well, every time we
I seen some positive black shows and some of us.
currently right now.
Yeah, give me one.
You
Give me
see
one.
how you had to reach for
Yeah,
that?
give me one.
See that? Like,
Yeah. I heard that grunt.
You
I
had
heard that
to
grunt.
reach a little bit. See, I don't want you to reach for it. I need you to be like, man, there's 10 of them things.
I want to know
See,
about
the
shows
reach
like.
is well,
Okay,
what
well,
I'm saying.
I'm gonna hit y'all in the chest real quick because
That's current now.
in our last few years,
Yeah.
we happen to have the biggest movie ever in history in sales, whether they admit it or not. Black Panther was selling at Walmart on DVD for $24.99, and it was playing a year later still in the theaters.
Okay.
It had more numbers
Okay.
than anybody, and it portrayed, even though it was somewhat fictional.
This is a movie. Now,
somewhat
this is real
fictional,
seasonal.
It portrayed us
In a
as
good
being
light. King.
the smartest,
Yes,
the
yes.
most advanced technology-wise.
Okay.
That was a fantastic thing.
Did you
for
see the
me.
post I posted the other day?
No, sir.
I put up. She said that I don't know how to feel about
Forgive
what you
me.
said. I put something up the other day. There's a new movie coming out with Viola Davis
Miss Viola.
about how the women in Africa were fighting during slavery time to prevent what was going on. And something Queen. I can't off the top of my head remember the direct name of it, but I posted. I want to see us crowd up the theaters for this movie the
Right.
same way we did for Black Panther.
And what he's saying, if we control our content,
We can do so.
we can do that. We can get it out there where they are, the theaters are packed, and hopefully that happens.
Yes.
So solution-wise, we got a few things going on here. Control your content, Be aware of everything that's happening and what's being listened to by your children.
Your gates.
Father, those gates.
Yeah.
I had jotted down a couple things when it comes to this systemic racism part, and I feel like educating yourself as deep as you can in real truth is important. Because that is the beginning of breaking the mental chains and barriers that are already created subconsciously in our minds. Scientific thought is given to us for the physical world, usually has tangible means of proving itself. Faith-based thought comes from your spirit. Now, a lot of people don't know this concept, but once you allow your mind to let your spirit influence things, this is faith-based thought. The way the creators have created us, these two things are supposed to work in conjunction. And every once in a while, they become at odds. When they become at odds, that's when you got to slow down. What am I doing? What's going on here? Which way is... Sometimes the scientific route is going to be correct. Sometimes the faith-based route is going to be correct. But you are created to have both of them in you. Long story short, if you use both of these methods, it can help you make better decisions. I also had down that the spiritual wickedness can infiltrate the unseen things, which means it attacks a little bit more the faith-based thought. So you have to be careful where your thoughts are coming from, and are you in the fruits of the spirit, or are you in the right mindset when you make these decisions? So if you're coming from a place of impatience or desire or greed or anger, you don't want to make decisions based in these places.
Can I pause you?
Yes, you can, sir.
So real quick, I want you. So basically, we have to understand that the good side of us that we present is always there. But that animal, that dark, that beast, that other brother, that other man that we try to keep hidden, he is always there. He is alive and well. So knowing that we present the better side of us, so it's just basically saying that we already know that the enemy, we can't stop him from riding. He's always going to be there, the yin and the yang. Like we know that side of us is always with us. And somebody do something to your family, he'll come out to play. You know what I'm saying? So we know. So the thing is to know that we have to be able to know that the prince of the air is not bound to the things that we're bound to, far as time, space, what he can do.
Travel.
That's right, travel.
Right. So
the moment, what we all have to remember is, there's a moment you're in the process of something, and he always want to drive. You're in full control, but he want to drive. And you have to understand, the moment that you turn the wheel over to him, the very first thing he's gonna do is bust a U-turn.
Exactly.
Because God is forward movement. He's toward the light. You know, if you got God with you, you're going forward. You're going that way. But the moment you allow the enemy to get the wheel, the first thing he do is bust a U-turn. And then the second thing he really want to do is take the life. Immediately in the moment you say, I'm finna go for bad, I'm going around there, I'm about to, everything changes. That's right. The moment you give him the wheel, and knowing that the prince of the air he's a non-tangible thing, so he moves. Entity. How he can move through time is beyond anything we really can verbally explain. So we have to understand the prince of the air, when we give him the wheel, or we give him the power, just in those moments, he has the ability to take us years back in process and disrupt things in the moment of a few seconds.
Yeah. Did you say Roe versus Wade? Did you say reverse?
In the moment of a few seconds.
Let me shut up over here.
I heard most trouble you get into. So most trouble you get into only takes a few seconds to get into it, if you ever noticed. That's right. You could do something in a matter of a minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, and by the time you recover and feel like, man, I messed up, and then it come now, probation, jail, your life, everything that is disruptive.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I hate to interrupt, but they flagging me over here. We're gonna have to take a quick interview.
Okay.
With this final second, but we're gonna start right here with you. So
Okay.
Be back after this last intermission.
Black Father, the mini-series. Streaming every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Facebook Live. This mini-series is an attempt to bring more respect, more truth, more love and accountability into the home of the Black family and community. Black Father will help with a multitude of issues. Black Father, streaming every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Facebook Live. Black Father, the mini-series.
We are back here on Black Father, episode 4, Tyranny of the Unseen, and we are addressing systemic racism currently. I'm gonna give it right back to these two gentlemen who I interrupted to go on break. But B, come on in.
All right, I really like what G said. I really like what he said because I've been talking about a few things. You and I have talked about this before, but I'm gonna bring it up now. You know, we gotta understand how the battle is with the Prince of the Air, because it's so unseen, but it's seen in so many different areas. And where I say that is this. I brought this to you a while back. There's a battle that we continuously go through every day, and it's the battle between our spirit man and our flesh. And why is the flesh so powerful over our spirit man? The spirit man is a quiet voice. Oh, but it's the voice of God. It's a quiet, sound, still voice. The flesh, this physical being of ours, responds off of our emotions, our senses, all of the things that God put in there. What you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you taste, what you smell, all those senses react. And when they react loud. And once that happens to your physical, your emotions become out of whack. And once that happens, the mental side of things goes crazy, because now your mental is trying to figure out how to maintain all that's going on in the emotional aspect of things.
Constant battle.
And it's a constant battle. How did I approach it like that? I had to understand that I had to put things away. I had to take certain things and lock them up. And I'm talking about my mentality, anger issues. I had a horrible temper. I had to lock it away.
Right.
Not just
that other side that always ride, that want to drive.
I had to take it. I use the concept of a bank.
Yeah, right.
I had to put my nonsense in a safety deposit box.
Right.
Where's the safety deposit box? In the vault.
In the vault.
Where's the vault? In the bank.
Right.
There's a process to get into the safety deposit box. You can't just walk in the bank and say, hey, can I go in the safety deposit box 273?
Right.
They gotta be open.
It's gotta be, the bank manager got to approve. You gotta prove it's you.
You gotta go through a few triggers to get it open, basically.
Before you even get to the vault.
Right.
Then the vault got to be open.
Right.
Then you got to go in certain places you may need 2 keys.
Right.
There's a process. Now, why is the process so important? Because before that ugly side decide to show up,
right,
you get several triggers.
That's right. Yeah, that's how you get in.
You get alerted.
A lot of
it's about to happen.
It's about to go down.
Frustration.
And he want to drive.
Yeah, he want to drive.
Right. Yeah.
Alerts.
Right.
All kind of alerts go off.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk about the dye pack in the bag. No, all kind of alerts go off. That bank alarm gonna trigger for real. And when it happens, you gotta be able to recognize it.
Before it happens.
That's where the Prince of the Air is so intense, because it makes it look so smooth. It makes the transition go so smoothly. To the next thing you know, you opening up the safety deposit box and you already in, and by the time you realize you in, all your stuff gone.
He done did the U-turn on you.
Yeah.
And the Prince of the Air makes the transition so smooth because he makes you think it's something you want to do.
Oh,
that part.
Makes you think it's your idea. And this is the tyranny of the unseen. The Prince of the Air is unseen by your conscience, normal vision, unless you got this third eye open. And we're not gonna jump in there just yet.
Don't do it.
Not yet. But a regular, you know, we're trying to reach out and pull some of the people up that are struggling with some things and they don't understand why they have the same reoccurring loop happening, the same cycle of unsuccessfulness happening in their lives in different areas. It's normally because it's one hurdle that you don't realize you're not getting over.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the subtopic, the third subtopic today, and that is the tyranny of the unseen also exists in the examples of what we don't do.
Okay.
Unseen. If you don't say thank you.
Do you really?
If you don't give thanks.
Yeah.
If you don't encourage. If you don't show the love and care for someone that you should. If you don't study. I could even say if you don't pray.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that we may not do in front of our children, or we may not do at the right times with our seeds, that seems to denote, oh, well, he don't do that. And see, the prince of the air can come directly to them and get in their ears.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about the things that we don't do, this is an unseen tyranny that can be used as well. That can be as bad as racism.
Easily.
Can be as bad as mental slavery. Can be as bad as the other things that are unseen that we're dealing with. So taking some time just to think about it. I'm gonna start just to give y'all a little time to get your thoughts together. But I had jotted down a couple things. The solution to dealing with that part of the tyranny of the unseen is to check your attitude constantly.
Yes.
This is all the time in all moments of life. A humble attitude of love, power, patience, and helpfulness is always better for creation. It's better for the light of the universe. It's better to get things done. And it's better in a time of crisis.
Yeah.
You have an issue, but you got this kind of attitude of helpfulness and love, humility, power, and patience, you're gonna get some real stuff done. This attitude is the first ally of your inner man when you're attacked with something with something spiritual.
I agree with
So that's just something I had jotted down. When you're under attack, you always need the attitude of thankfulness, love, power, patience, and humility. Not being so arrogant that, oh, and let me show you how to do this.
Right.
But with love, with, asking first, how can I? Even you might already know the answer. You still ask, well, what do you think about such and such, to kind of let them know you're on the same level. And let me clear something up that I've been dealing with these two gentlemen kind of don't know just yet, but I've been receiving inboxes from some of my teachers, some of my students, some of my family, some of my companions around the country, West Coast, up north. I think I did speak to you about it. And they're like, well, Ghost, why are you watering down the show? Why are you speaking like what's in you is not really in you, and you're taking so long to bring these concepts out? Let me just say,
Be careful.
I just want to say that the level of true wisdom in its heights is not how much you know. It's how far down you can go to pull somebody up that doesn't know. I liken myself in my teaching style to maybe 6th grade. And that's just where I like to keep it. Now the concepts might be off this planet, but the way that I'm going to deliver them, I try to deliver them in a way that everyone can see it.
Right.
This is a very basic show. It's a show to really help anyone.
Yeah.
And I feel like anyone in any stage of life could get something from this show. So let me just clear that up.
Right.
For all my professors and seafoods and the other ones who
right.
who have been wondering when we were going to crank up. I'm not really watering it down. I'm just taking our time with it so that it can be known. We are not trying to talk like we're better than anyone or know more, because I am not educated in the way of the normal education. I am educated in the way of self-education and what the creators have allowed me to get in my spirit. All right, I'm gonna get off of that and let y'all, who gonna jump off first with this unseenness when it comes to what we don't do. And I shouldn't say we don't do it. We don't do it maybe in front of people or in front of the children.
Well, go ahead, I'll let you.
I think one of the biggest things that we have to look at is, as black fathers, is the facade of the hidden agenda. I don't do certain things. I know I won't do it, So guess what? As my young sons get older, it's a very big possibility they may not do it either. Perfect example: taking care of your physical health. I can count extremely high the men I know that will not go to a doctor, that will not get themselves checked out if something's going on.
Crickets in here.
That's just real, you know. And it's bad because until it goes like that, until something goes wrong, and then it's now you ain't got no choice but to go get checked out.
I love that he said this. We'll take our children to the doctor quick, but we as grown black men don't want to go. This is something that needs to change.
Gotta change. I can
Definitely
say it
me. I'm
because
pointing them, but I'm definitely pointing
I had to
me.
change that about myself. I had to go to the doctor and start getting myself checked out. So listen, tell your sons, get a primary care physician. Get yourself to a dentist. Get yourself to an eye doctor. Get your physical health taken care of. Not just your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health.
Yeah.
Oh no, I ain't going to see a therapist. I ain't say you got to see a therapist, but learn how to meditate. Learn how to have relaxing moments. Learn how to take a walk and exercise. Oh, I exercise to reduce my stress. Understand that items that you can use to reduce your stress can also be used to induce stress. You can overdo something. Oh, I exercise. Okay, but when you're stressed out, how do you exercise? Do you get under that weight bench and you go too hard?
Right.
And next thing you know, you got to go to the doctor to get that shoulder looked at. You know,
Right.
people do stuff they don't realize that stress travels on both sides. So we have to take care of ourselves. And I think, to me, that's a huge thing that we have to address.
So let me ask you something. If you know your son got a football game coming up, and you show up to the football field with a baseball bat, he's looking at you kind of like, you know I'm playing football, right?
Right.
Why you here with the bat and glove?
Right.
Why you there
You
with
got
the
the
bat and glove?
baseball bat and the baseball glove at the
He
football
ready to
game.
go.
Yeah.
I give you this analogy because this is a prime example of how some of us handle our children when they're struggling with a mental issue, and we handle them
Oh, he gonna be all right.
like they just
He
regular.
gonna be all right.
Right.
We're bringing the wrong
Shake it off.
tools to the wrong game, and I definitely know about that.
So you speaking about the unseen.
Yes, sir.
So I was gonna say, as far as the unseen goes, I think it's that part. Oh man, I done lost that train because it was kind of deep.
It's gonna come back.
Oh
No, yeah, because it was really deep. It was it's basically saying, man, because I was all over the place with that one. But it's deep, man. The unseen, and then I do want to say on another side, it's just we have to really be the example of the change that we want to see.
Be the example of the change.
Because if you don't be the example, oh, that's what it was. It was stemming off of that. So, who we are and the blessings that we have, we are, if the love that we show people, if we don't show it in their lifetime, they'll never have known that it existed.
that part. I like that. I like that.
give flowers while they live.
Yeah.
Flowers, a piece of chicken, whatever you can give them. I'm just saying.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
Yeah, so there have been times to where I've seen people and I know that if I didn't show them an unconditional love and not because a person know when you forgive them, it's the energy you give off.
Really forgive him.
That's right, really forgive them. You're beyond it and it's all love.
Yeah.
It's love. So, like I say, but there are one of the unseen things is just to make sure that because there are people that are so far out there that where if you don't be that one person that shows them love, they never experience it.
No.
And a lot of the times we are those people in those positions. People like yourself. we have to, because it's unseen. Either you can, and they had never known that anybody on this earth could even. We are those people to give that unconditional love through and through, and to forgive as much so as we can forgive.
And that's an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I will kind of condense down what he's saying to something we teach all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A person may not remember what you said. They may not remember what you did, but they will remember how you made them feel
That's
in
right.
the moment.
That's right.
And this is what he's saying in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That agape, that unconditional love,
That's right.
can
Shadow
take
of
a
a
storm and turn it into a beach day.
Yeah. That's right.
Like, can take the worst situation and make it one of the best situations, because you have to remember
real quick.
Yeah,
How you made them feel.
all of your hurdles and all of your what you see as troubles are really the Creator's only meaning as lessons for you to learn from and grow from and get over the hurdle that's keeping you in the same loop.
I met a young lady at Walmart yesterday that I hadn't seen in almost 6 years. And it was one of the first cases I had as a nurturing coach. And she didn't recognize who I was at first, but I knew who she was. And I asked her what her name was, and I said, "You know who I am?" I took my mask off, and she was like, "You look really familiar." I said, "Mr. B, Mr. Damon." She's like, "Oh my God." I said, "How are you doing?" She said, I'm doing great." She's working as a corrections officer. She's doing good. Her sisters are now doing good. And she said, "I really thank you for that time that you were working with us, because had I not had someone like you in my life at that time, I don't know if I would have made it through that time period."
Wow, and that's powerful.
That's very powerful,
man.
Yes.
That right there.
That's what I'm talking
about. That set my whole tone
Yes.
in a different, because it gives me drive. It gives me a driven direction. I gotta keep doing this.
That's right.
Yeah. So having the attitude of improving someone's situation in the moment can have a trickle effect. And understand this goes on both sides, because if you have a bad attitude,
it can show no better
bad
than
energy transfers. So
Yes.
whatever you decide in the moment to give off, this is kind of what becomes habit for you. If you get up day after day and I don't want to go to work, this is wrong, it becomes habit forming for you. But if you get up every day like, I wonder what I'll be able to create today. Who can I help?
What's going on?
Who the Creator's gonna put in my life to help them with a little something, or discover something fantastic, or learn something? It becomes a habit. And we are, being human beings, we are creatures of habit. We're gonna form good habits or bad habits or both. It's up to you to manipulate them a little bit more the way you want. And that comes from recognizing the prince of the air and the tyranny of the unseen.
I got to a place where I just want, if I can just talk, if I can get to somebody, give somebody a word of God today, I'll be good. That right there was enough for me. I just want to be able to give somebody the word of God. If I can if I can plant a seed somewhere within your life, I walk away. And what you do with that seed is your business. But I need to plant the seed.
You gotta do it.
So having the correct attitude, I think, is probably one of the most important things in life on a daily basis.
Yes, sir.
So we all have had good times, bad times, and in between times. But I gotta tell you, for me, I learned the most in the bad times. The good times is good, and we happy and laughing and singing, but I ain't learning that.
No.
So I try to take in everything in the times that are a little bit turmoil.
You don't know what you got until you got to get to some bad times.
Yeah. If you ain't had a bad moment, you ain't learned nothing. No, we got to go through something to know we got to go through something to know that we can accomplish something.
They call it a living testimony.
That's what it is. That's what
living testimony, and I got learned behavior from him last week, so I'm steady going.
Yes.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up on this this episode for Black Father. We thank you all for joining us. We glad to have Wiley G back.
Definitely,
we will. You were missed. We had a ball, but you know.
Man, I was watching y'all.
I had to drink a whole bunch of water.
Hey, I'm cheering from both pages, man.
I had to drink some water, boy. It was intense.
Anyway, inbox us with your questions or your comments. We definitely are going to get to the point where we're going to be responding to some of them live on the air, and also as far as back in your inbox. I've been doing that. I'm sure these two have been doing it as well.
We need questions, comments, topics. Just bring it to us. Talk. we need feedback, not just, hey man, you're doing a great job. We appreciate that. We thank you for that. But we need strong comments, strong feedback.
Yes. So we appreciate you. Y'all have a blessed, peaceful, and successful week. And we'll see you again next Sunday at 2 p.m.
All right.
Black Father, the mini-series. Streaming every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Facebook Live. This mini-series is an attempt to bring more respect, more truth, more love and accountability into the home of the Black family and community. Black Father will help with a multitude of issues. Black Father, streaming every Sunday at 2 p.m. on Facebook Live. Black Father, the mini-series.